Do you feel like you're meant for more, that deep within you there is a passion waiting to define your life's work? Are you ready to make an impact, embrace a mission, and live without regrets? If you believe there is a transformative power within you, eager to be unlocked, then I invite you to join me, Pranali, on the Passionate Pulse podcast Bootstrap Banter series. Together, we'll uncover the secrets to discovering your true passion and making the decisive leap to follow your calling. This podcast is more than just a source of inspiration. It's a toolkit for unlocking your potential and igniting the passion that propels you towards the life that you have always dreamed of. Tune into Passionate Pulse Podcast Bootstrap Banter series and let's embark on this journey of passion and purpose together. Are you ready to amplify your voice and grow your business or a personal brand? Imagine reaching thousands of listeners sharing your passion and making an impact all through your very own podcast. Join our upcoming workshop, Podcasting 101, designed just for you. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or just passionate about sharing your own story, we will equip you with all the tools that you need to start your podcasting journey. Don't miss out. Visit passionatepulse.com/workshops and do secure your spot today. That's passionatepulse.com/workshops. Let's make your voice heard. Namaskar, welcome to this solo podcast series of Passionate Pulse podcast, the Bootstrap Banter series. This particular series, we discuss a lot of startup fundas that every individual in their own side hustle can implement. And that's where this series makes it very special for me because those are all the fundas that I am right now implementing for my own platform, which is, being a solopreneur or being a small business entrepreneur. I am enjoying it. There are lots of bits and pieces. There are lots of corners that, I have to literally deep dive into to understand, oh, these kind of techniques we need to implement in order to shine through. These kind of techniques in the digital marketing, I need to be a master at so that, my voice gets played across. Having the podcast as one of the major tool with me, I am enjoying this journey and there are immense benefits that I have gained so far. And of course, behind the series of this podcast, I learn a lot of things. Whenever I sit with a lot of entrepreneur guests, a lot of artist guests that I interview, and then, I curate their stories. I bring these real life examples in front of the community and enjoy how their journeys have really taken off. What kind of pain points that they had to survive in order to be where they are right now and enjoy the fruits of their a lot of hard work that they have been put in through a lot of deep curves that they went through as a part of their journey in order to shine what they are right now, what we see. And every day, it's a lot of unknown journey that every individual guest goes through. Well, in spite of that, I realized that, my community really need to get some hands-on tools if they really want to shine. It's not just the real life hero stories or the trailblazer stories that can inspire them, but they also need to get equipped with certain skills and certain tools. It is always good to get a helping hand and kickstart your journey, jump onto that path, especially when somebody has crossed that hurdle of understanding, gaining the expertise, and it definitely accelerates somebody's journey. I myself have benefited through number of workshops that I've attended. I enjoy lot of the small scale meetups where we get to learn different corners of the skills that it is hard to put together sometimes on your own. So I decided open up such workshops that have come from my own hard journeys. And that's where the podcasting 101 workshop I decided to open up for those who are looking forward to take a jump and take a leap from their own comfort zone and start their own podcast. Since I declared that in last week, I was flooded with a lot of social media messages, especially over the LinkedIn and the contact form from our website, which is passionatepulse.com contact form that, we are interested in this podcasting 101 workshop. And on top of it, many people started asking me the question, what really made you to start your podcasting journey? And we are really interested in understanding that part of the story because that has never really came out in public through any of your podcast episodes. Some of them have enjoyed bits and pieces understanding from the write-ups that I do on the LinkedIn blog, Breaking the Glass Ceiling, Or, some of them have understood when they meet me in person and then they poke this question. So finally, I decided, you know what? It is such an important aspect of my podcasting journey. And why don't I open up? And especially when I'm opening up this podcasting 101 workshop, which is a Bootstrap Banter's first workshop that we are opening up. So here is a story for everyone who are looking forward to understand that how Pranali really deep dive into the podcasting, how she really acquired the skills and what it really takes to be a podcaster. Okay, so here is my story. There was 5 years of time. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but there was a 5 years of time when I actually did the radio shows, live radio shows. When first time I moved from India to US, I moved to Dallas, Texas at that time as an immigrant. And there was a radio, Panakia radio in the town. And, I was missing my country. I was missing a lot of bits and pieces that made my own self, right? So one of them is your food, one of them is your language, one of them is connecting someone else in your own language and having those relaxed the family into time which is in person. Of course, everything was virtual when you are immigrant, when you are especially moving all by yourself to different country. And I was looking forward for those comfort zones. I could find a little bit of the food that could connect me and get me to my own family time. But I could not find my own language people around where I was in. I was surrounded with a lot of global audience, a lot of global colleagues, but I was really missing talking in my own language in person with someone. And when I started tuning on this particular Phoenicia radio, which was a Desi radio back in the days, and it still is. It's still running very proudly, and I'm so happy for them that they're running in the industry for so long, actually, a couple of decades now. And I was tuning in as and when I could get time, and I could found that measure of the times I could hear Hindi. There are most other languages, like there was Bengali, there was Telugu, there was Tamil, there were different languages across. Gujarati, very close to Maharashtra, but there was no Marathi presence at all. I could not hear my own songs and I was really missing them. So I decided to write an email to the Phoenicia radio and ask them a question. Why don't you host a particular show in Marathi language? There are a lot of audience out there in the Dallas, Texas who are really looking forward for their own language radio. And interestingly, I got an instant reply on the same day asking that, would you be able to meet us in person? We would like to take this matter with our CEO, Shabnamji, and we'll discuss it further. And I was surprised. I'm like, okay, they're just asking for a meeting. Why don't I go for a meeting? And Saturday morning it was. I had to opt in for the meeting and I was all ready to meet Shabnamji. And I decided, like, what is that the worst thing that they're going to ask me? The worst thing that they're going to ask is, can you start a radio in your own language? Will you be consistent? Can you be voluntarily taking up this particular hobby project? And if it is, then you will have your own language radio. If that's a win, why don't I go for it? And I thought through it. If they ask me this question, what are my possibilities of answering? Yes, I can start a radio, but have I done it before? Bits and pieces, yes. In my school and college days, I did do the radio and, represented certain audio dramas, but I don't know the technique. But yes, have I been on radio? Absolutely, yes. I was a theater performer. So going over the stage, talking was not a big deal for me. I had hosted umpteen number of shows by then in my college, in my school, as well as in my corporate life. So going over and talking over the mic could have been easier for me. It's just a matter of developing a script. Can I develop a script? Absolutely, yes. So I went with all the possibilities. And if they ask me, curate the 5 shows that you can do starting from tomorrow, what they will be, what kind of themes we would host. I think I did all my background work and I was all ready for the meeting. And the day I met the Shabdamji, she smiled at me and she was like, oh, I was very happy to see that mail. You know why? Because I'm from Nagpur and there are a lot of people who talk Marathi. I understand Marathi, but I'm not that fluent in Marathi to host any radio show or, I'm not that deeply connected with so many songs that I should be pulling up and, provide the literature history or, give any kind of a infotainment if it comes down to Marathi literature. And that's where I'm weak at. And so far, I could not find any person. That's why the Marathi radio you cannot hear. But given a chance, will you be the one to start one? And what are your chances to come over consistently? And I was bouncing back in my chair because these are the very own questions that actually I had imagined. And I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I can do this. And then I provided certain examples, that could gain them the confidence. But I said, like, there is only one technical problem. I don't know how to operate the radio mixes when the radio show is going live. And this has to be a live show. So I don't know, how to take up the phones from the audience, how to answer it, and, still work on this technical drama. So that's the only missing ligament I would say that I have going over the live radio. If you can help me providing, some training or assistance of hours, I think I'll be ready in couple of days. And she was so happy. Oh my God. So she's all ready. And she decided to go ahead and take a chance with me. She took my audio test for the first day, and then she put me through a couple of trainings that can help me with the audio mixers and, how the live radio should work, how you can take phone call, what you need to do when certain phone calls are not appropriate, how to cut them graciously, and how much delay that the radio infuses so that certain things that are going abruptly with the live phone calls or etc. How you should be able to terminate or handle those technical things. And of course, being a techie, it was not something that was very hard to learn. And to be honest, the technology has made our life very easy. It's not at all complicated, like back in the days of industrial revolution. So it was fairly easy to operate such devices and given a day training. And when I had a deep desire to start something that was not there, it made it through. And you won't believe it, but for 5 years consistently, I did the Marathi and Hindi radio show. We'll dwell into a lot of bits and pieces and the some funny moments of that sometime later. The story is, yes, so that gave me the podcasting experience. But after I moved to California, San Francisco area, my journey stopped on the radio and I got more intrigued with my career. And I was really missing the radio. I was really missing the interaction with the audience. I was really missing the research that I would do to make sure that my every episode becomes an infotainment and not just an entertainment. And the research on different literature topics, research on a lot of different personalities that I would curate, research for the interviews for the celebrities and the artists that I would take online or the radio, and interacting with a very different genre than just my career, which I was really passionate about. So that's where I decided that, one day, whenever I find the right time to meet, I'm going to start my own podcasting. And the worst thing that had happened during the live radio show was there was no chance that the live radio shows were recorded. There were few recordings that I had done in the beginning, just to part of my own study, where I'm lacking, where I have to improvise and, kind of a self-learning basis, which was in the studio, not exactly how it would appear on the air with the music mixing and with noise reduction and a lot of other things that actually happen over the radio on air. So that was not the recording pieces that I would have. But there was immense research that I had done. There was so much scripts that I had written. There were a lot of audio dramas that I had written and I had curated with the audience to connect with them for community flourishing. And there was so many things that I did. And I realized, oh my God, I don't have a recording. But by the time I was graduated for this entire radio journey, there were good platforms that started establishing. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, YouTube, and immense number of channels got open where not just a filtered people would get an opportunity or a privilege to start something of their own or showcase their own passions, but it became very easy for any common person. If they have a passion, they have certain skills, they can exhibit it. And just by sitting at home, just by learning few techniques, they can exhibit those skills. These was very powerful platforms that were existing. It was just a matter of time that I had to learn them. I had to really study them, that how it works, what are their algorithms, how you should start, what it takes to be a technically expert at to process your videos, to process your audios, what are different type of techniques and licensed softwares that exist. But it was just a matter of research and putting the foot in the journey that actually gave me the experience. And one after the other, another improvisations happened. It was very organic, to be honest. I did struggle for a long time to meet the right audio quality, to meet the right video furnishing quality, and a lot of things because, by then I was not aware that there are any workshops that I could go through and just kickstart my journey on day one. So yes, I did have a lot of 100 days of learning journey that actually made me to where I am right now in terms of starting my own podcast, video podcast from the scratch and furnishing it and publishing it and making it appear as a professional level right now. So this is a little bit of a journey that I deep dive. So when pandemic hit, I think that's when we really got a time. That's when I started missing my stage journey, which was, live theaters and everything. And I got a time to think and sit back and roll up on some different things that I can enjoy. And I opened up my bucket list item where there was written that I have to start my own YouTube channel. And if I had to start my own YouTube channel, I would do XYZ things. And oh my God, I opened up with those pages. I decided I would focus on this particular part of the life that I always wanted to start. And another thing that actually made me a strong realization was that I would start something that I really enjoyed as a part of my radio career. There were a lot of segments that I handled, but I actually sat down and niched down most enjoyed segment that I did, the most challenging segment that I did, and the most kind of a brain food that I fed. That was a segment I started focusing on, and it was nothing but an interview of various artists, various thought leaders that I would take over the radio because I had to do the research in each and every field that they are in. Probably I'm not an expert in their biographies, their journeys, because I have to really be, at a shoulder to shoulder when I'm talking to them in their own subjects. So this was something that it had really interested me. It had intrigued me. It had instigated my minds. And that's where I decided to pick it up, that part of my journey on the podcasting. And then it came down to a niche, that what niche I should pick because I was passionate about so many subjects and I didn't wanted to leave any subject. Being a software professionalist, I thought maybe I can curate something regards with my career and profession that I can help my community. But then I thought this is not something that I really is going to enjoy because this is what I do 45 hours a week. Why don't I do something else that can also be infotainment for myself and, push me harder to learn something new? So I decided I'll open up all the subjects and I'll curate the content from all the fields that they come up. The only thing that I would do probably is, I'll focus in the women niche. And why women niche? Because I thought to myself, women niche was very important to handle at that point of time. It is a very delicate area in terms of a career and a profession, especially when I was a newborn's mother then. And I understood the challenges being a newborn mother. There are immense challenges that stand in front of you when you have to work in your career, when you are so much a passionate personality and you're working on your different hobbies, you're handling your family at a very delicate level. You are missing your child if you're, stepping away. You're getting that mother's guilt when you're not providing 100% of the time or commitment to your child. And on part of that, you have to thrive your best in your career because you have put so much of efforts. You have put your entire life to make this career and you just don't want to miss that. because now you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a family person. Then I thought to myself, oh my God, being a mother is a very toughest job that I've ever picked up. And there are several mothers around the globe that have done wonders being mother, being career professionals they are, and they have served the best in their own industry, in their own faculty. So why don't I curate such women, extract their stories, and motivate my community that if someone like you have gone through this same journey as you are in, if they can attain this, you can do so. So that's where I really started. And I thought to myself, I would handle a lot of women problems in my podcasting series. Nevertheless, I couldn't do that. You know why? Because there were a lot of problems. I started deep diving and a lot of people approaching me saying that these problems exist. For single mothers, these problems exist. For people who are in the relationship and departing in the relationship, these problems exist. At the career level, my God, so many problems to handle. And let me just focus on the career problem because you know what? These are the problems that I cannot really relate to. I haven't been through those problems, or for some reason, I cannot provide the right guidance to them. I cannot curate the content that somebody else who has been through that ship can curate. So let me not focus on that. Rather, I would serve the best content. And that's how my journey started. After a couple of years, I realized my journey doesn't stop just in the women niche. My journey is much more beyond that. There are many men who are listening to me. There are many men, guests, who are looking to come forward to my podcast and they're asking, why don't you cover us? Why don't you cover these problems? And you're really not solving any women problem anyways, but you're solving such and such problems. So after I started that women special express, I also realized, and my audience and lot of my guests realized that I'm really not solving only the womenish problems, but I'm solving something bigger than that, which is nothing but a passionate hearts problem. People who are looking beyond their family life to serve the community, to bring the innovations and give a good shape to the world. That passion, that mission is what my niche. And that's where the Passionate Pulse podcast got a rebirth. And I started curating this particular series. And while doing that, I also realized bringing these trailblazers, these change maker stories to the community is, of course, inspiring a lot of audience. It's instigating their minds. It is helping them on a lot of front. But what is really missing is the tools and the techniques to equip them to start their own side hustle beyond their routine career, beyond their paychecks that they are also interested in, and how they should be really boarding the flight that they always wanted to board in terms of whatever they have to do to run their life, whatever that they have to do to keep up with their family life, whatever that they have to do with the professions that they have chosen. There is some magic hidden power within them that resided and have ignored a bit because they have been busy with their own professions. They are busy with the professional heights that they're supposed to achieve, serving much more beyond their own lives with their own passion and mission. Given that small shift to the world that they always wanted to seek, how they should do now. What are the tools and techniques? Is there any kind of a workshop that we can bring on for these people? And if somebody has done that, what they really did, and can you teach those techniques? Can you help them trigger those instincts in them? And can you help them mark their first footstep on the path that they always wanted to take? That's where actually this podcasting 101 workshop got born. Because there are many people who asked me, as a part of a bootstrap banter that they are going through, there are so many aspects. If somebody has to build up the side hustle that has to be taken care. And as a part of a solopreneur, I have marched so many corners by myself without any helping hand. And to be honest, I didn't know that there are any helping hands workshop existed. And once I got to know about them, I became greedy. I started attending those workshops. I started excelling my journey. I started accelerating my journey, and it really helped. But it only came into the picture when I started looking up for it. I mean, I was quite ignorant, and I wish the people that I was tuning in, the interesting podcast series I was tuning in, I wish they had these workshop series, or I wish they had told me about it, that there are certain things that needs to be learned, and there are people who can help you with, and these are very easy things to do. Anyways, so these things happen, and when they happen for a good. So it's a hard journey that I took, and it's a hard lesson that I learned in the podcasting journey. And that's where I decided this is one of the very important aspect in digital diaspora that we live in. We have to have the digital footprints, no matter which business you are in, no matter which career you are in, whether you are a professionalist, you still need to have your individual branding, and the LinkedIn is helping a lot, but there are a lot of people are not utilizing a LinkedIn medium to the extent that they should to excel in their own professional journeys. There are a lot of artists. They're not taking immense efforts on their digital medium so that their footprints are seen, their skills are shown. It's not just gaining of followers, but it's gaining your right organic audience to whom you're serving, and it's getting your next opportunity to grow forward. Podcasting is one of the very heavy tool, I would say, and at the same time, it's one of the most enjoyable tool that any individual can take in its own business journey, in its personal branding journey, or even to establish your own thought leadership journey. I personally have guests who have come on my podcast just to express their thought leadership. There are a lot of artists, there are a lot of researchers, there are a lot of startup founders, there are a lot of entrepreneurs that I talk in and day out, who are interested in opening up their authentic journey, which is not curated, which is not customized, which is not shortened, and which can help them express in their own words. Because they think opening up to those pages gives a lot of humanized angle to them, and this is what makes them what they are. And they should be seen what they are. In the journey of this digital footprinting, where there is a lot of content get curated, most of the people are hungry to put the right authentic journey. They don't want somebody to come, take their story, morph it in their own style, and present it. They want their own stories to be told. And that's where you can see there are a lot of podcast guests that gets lined up everywhere. I see. It's not just my own podcast. I have seen a lot of my friends who are into the podcasting journey. They say that I've hardly met someone to whom I have asked for the podcast guest and they have denied the opportunity. And the reason being, they can open up their own thought leadership. They can tell their own story in their own language, and they can express their own thoughts the way they want, not what people want to hear. And sometimes what happens, the way they want, what they want, and the purpose that they are serving is many a times doesn't come into a very visible way. And somebody has to take those efforts. Sometimes these guests are not good solo narrators. They need a helping hand as a conversation. Why don't we sit together and chit chat, and then, you ask questions that can help me open up with the audience that looking forward to tune in, or for the audience that looking forward to understand those corners. So that's where a lot of conversational styles podcasts are up booming, and there is no into that life, I feel. But apart from that, starting a podcast is not just, easy start. Like you just take couple of mics, gather someone and just talk. That's not way it happens. There is a lot of technical aspect that it involves. There is a lot of strategy that involves. Depending on what your mission is, your podcast has to evolve. In order to strategize that direction, if you're gonna get some acceleration through some accelerator workshops, go for it. Whether it's an entrepreneurship, whether it's a startup journey, a lot of startup founders I've seen, they go to different networking events, they go to different workshops, they go to different pitching events, they go to learn how to do pitching, they go to learn how to raise investments. They go to learn how to create a pitch deck. Why? Because they want to cut short or accelerate their journey on this path. And rather than focusing on lot of technical aspects in different angle, why don't I focus on my core product to evolve? And let me take a help in other directions to evolve so that my journey blossoms up altogether. And I'm not struggling, I'm not spending more time in just one area because of which, I'm not meeting my right results. So that's the same thing with the podcasting 101 workshop gonna happen. We're gonna equip with lot of tools and techniques that will head start your journey. The amount of time that I have invested in my own podcast, almost couple of years I was struggling to get it at a speed, to get it at a level where it is right now, to get it at a professional editing style, to get it at a professional furnishing style, to understand what to curate exactly when and how to cut short certain pieces, how to fit in the right time size, how to accelerate in the production quality, how the operational cycle should look like, and how I can ease my mind not getting exhausted in the operational cycles. And hitting that balance, the mental balance in my podcasting journey was very important. So I decided I'm going to open up in this podcasting 101 journey and fairly simple, fairly complex, but it's going to help you in starting your own podcast. Come and attend this workshop and see how you can start your journey from the scratch. Whether you are an individual looking forward to establish your personal brand, whether you are an entrepreneur looking forward to exhibit your thought leadership skills and bringing a faith in your own community about your innovation, or whether you are a business owner, have any product to sell, and you want to exhibit your passion and mission behind the products, you want to be into the podcasting journey. In the digital diaspora of this world, where all the footprints matter, starting your website, your narration, your certain press releases, to even your own LinkedIn article, which is establishing your thought leadership, which is showing the world that you have the right skills and a potential to curate certain things and to give you the crown in your own field. You need to get equipped with certain skills and tools and need to use these tools that are easily available in today's world. Saying about this podcasting, what I have interestingly observed is nowadays having your own podcast platform is one of the marketing strategy that you can take to boost your personal brand, to boost your corporate brand, to boost your own small business brand, or to establish your own self as an entrepreneur, to attract more investors, more customers, and build a faith in your customers about your product. It's a very organic journey because it gives a humanized angle to your product, to your business, to your own thought leaderships. People are hearing your voice. And the best part about the podcast is you can curate one or two script and come prepared and read the script. But towards the end of the 100 day, you're no longer the same reading the scripts out. Somewhere down the line, you'll drop in your own organic natural flares, your own belief system, your own thought leadership. That's where people are going to connect you organically. And you can't lie about your own personality for such a long time. And that's a very interesting aspect of the podcasting, I feel. Writing a content, writing the blogs, curating certain script is very easy to customize and not to show your own natural flavor. But when you're gonna come on the video, when you're gonna talk over the radio or other podcasting medium through your own voice, everything is gonna depict. You can't lie about your personality. Those nuances, no matter what they're gonna drop, that's where people are gonna connect you. And the essential thing is your natural flair, your natural commitment to your business, to your product, to what industry you're diving into, your mission, to your passion, it's gonna come, it's gonna dissipate. And there is no substitute for that. And it's gonna be amazing to see those results. And that's where you would see many podcasters who have been entrepreneur, who have been individuals in their career, have attained a success rate far beyond than writing just a blog in on the Medium or a LinkedIn or different mediums that they host. It's a far more superior medium because people are gonna be instantly humanizing you, your product, your thought leadership, your mission, your passion, everything that is gonna come through your voice. And they see that commitment, they feel that commitment. The voice connecting, it's such a powerful tool that absolutely the writing cannot establish. And also, filming and curating that content is not going to establish. Let me ask you this question. Why do you watch your celebrity interviews or any celebrities, for example? For you, the celebrity could be some researcher, could be one of the political figure. Maybe it's a Hollywood or a Bollywood actor or actress. Maybe it's a writer that you are really connected with. J.K. Rowling, right? I mean, we read her books, but at the same time, we go behind our interview snippets. We want to see what J. Rogan is talking with so many celebrities around the world. Why? Because that's where their national players are coming in. That's where you get to attend that, oh my God, the person that I love so much for their work in real life, she or he, it's such and such person. She's passionate about cooking. Oh, I'm passionate about it. She's passionate about dancing. I'm passionate about it. You know what? He likes to read. I love to read. And we are looking forward for that missing connecting piece to connect with them and then feel more in one with them. It's such a organic that we all humans are looking forward for that human connection, the deep dive connection in the ocean. I mean, in virtual world, many things can happen. But when these things happen, it's more natural. That's where the actual collaboration and the partnerships blossoming up. Many business entrepreneurship that I hosted on my podcast have absolutely told me after our podcast, I received such and such organic traffic from people. I could sell more product. There were more consultations that took place because, I came on your podcast. Many people have told me that because you covered us, one of the aspect or, one of the cutting corner that got missing long away from my personality to exhibit into the public have shined through. And now people are asking me, oh, we didn't know that you are also one of these. We didn't know that you like this. We didn't know that you do this. And we didn't know your challenges. Oh, it was such a tough journey. Hats off to you. Oh my God, you survived through that. And after hearing your story, I am inspired that I could do it too. So it's such a natural human connection through podcasting that you can achieve that there is absolutely no replacement. So why don't you dwell into the podcasting and see what podcasts can bring to you and your success in your field? Whether you are a career professional, let's say you're a career professionalist in the medical or the health sector. In the health sector, let's say you're a dentist and you serve pediatric dentistry. And you know what? Many parents are literally ignorant about their child oral health. One, because they are literally not literate about it. Two, because they've never experienced it. And three, because their parents never really paid attention to them, said it is not natural to them to pay attention to their kids' oral health. But you, being a pediatric dentist, through your podcast, can achieve wonders globally. You know how? You help them understand why oral health at such a tender age is important. What are the important aspect of that oral health that needs to be inspected? When you should take your kid to the dentist? Why the dental hygiene starts when they are at a tender age, when they are 5 or 6 years old, or even younger to that? Why it is important? And you are educating your audience in a way that they're equipped with the knowledge now and they are solving much bigger problems. They're not going for basic problems and struggling with their kid. And then, when they attend a puberty, they're understanding, oh my God, this problem could have been solved had I taken this simple care at their tender age. And they don't want to shell out so much of investment at the age of 14 or 15 to solve a root canal problem, to, extract the permanent tooth in their mouth. There is so much that they can do with your own knowledge that you're spreading. And also the connection that you get. They understand what type of dentist you are. what kind of detail level inspection you can do. And the next thing that's gonna happen is organically you're landing up good customers. But on top of it, you're landing a knowledgeable customers. So whatever that you can do in one podcast session, you are gonna save your hundred of hours with your 100 customers that are gonna see you. And you're gonna save your time in your professional career because you don't have to literate them at that point of time. You've already done so with your podcasting, and they have already heard your podcast. They already know about it, and you are literally accelerating their journey. You're saving your professional investment time, and it's such a bliss effort that you have put in to bring to bridge the gap in the knowledge of your customer, to bring in the customer to the right page that you are in, and help them understand what you really mean, that you cannot do in that 15-20 minutes of time reserved for them when you have it in their appointment to discuss. So these are some of the important aspects of podcasting that can really kickstart your career, that can save immense amount of efforts that you have to put in while you do your business, while you do your career, while you are at your workplace. If you ask me how it helps as an individual, fairly simple. If you start exhibiting your skills through this different medium, you are showing them you are ready to learn. You're exhibiting your knowledge to the depth that at an interview sessions you can't. Because at interview sessions are, restricted to 4 to 5 hours, max to max 2 days of interview loop rounds. But you are much beyond that. And sometimes, you know what, the life takes over. And the day that you are going to interview, you have immense number of challenges to handle at your family friend, and you are not in the right frame that you can appear, or you're not putting a best foot forward that particular time, that particular hour, that particular minute. What happens when you have a school calling you for your kid that you have to pick up in, a couple of hours because in the school the water has shut down and you are appearing for an interview in next 30 minutes? What are you going to do? What type of mental situation you are in? But suppose you have a podcast, video, audio, anything works. You have a podcast. You have exhibited your immense strength through your podcast, and that podcast becomes your signature. Your interviews are gonna be kick short smaller. They have been an accelerator process to you. Don't you want to achieve that? Don't you want to learn every day? Podcasting to me is everyday learning, is every day accelerating your own life in the field where you want to go. So, are you ready for the podcasting? Are you an individual who are looking to establish your personal brand and thrive in your own career? Or you're a business owner where you want to kickstart your business, accelerate your business, bring faith in your business products that you have, and showcase your passion and mission behind the business where people want to connect. People don't buy businesses or people don't buy product. People don't do investment in the product or the idea. People do investment in the founders. People connect with the business owners. There is, say example, insurance. Everybody needs a insurance, auto insurance, home insurance, family insurance, life insurance, everything. It's such a common thing to buy. But why certain people connect with certain people and buy the same insurance that somebody else was going to sell it to them? Because of the human connection that gets established with the particular person who is selling the insurance. Isn't it happen that you have gone to purchase a car, you know the exact model that you're going to purchase, you know the exact car and a color that you want to purchase, and you walk into two stores just to find out what works in your budget and somebody is ready to negotiate or no. And you come out with estimates and a quote at a level that you know that these both costs are shoulder to shoulder, not a penny difference. This person is gonna give me at X cost, this person is gonna give me at X cost, and it's still the same. But you will buy from a person with whom you have connected, with whom you feel more human, with whom you found more smiles along the conversations. And that's the human connection we're talking through the podcasting. And I feel digital footprints are important, and the podcasting is a niche that allows you massively to connect with your own audience and organically fetch the connection that you always wanted to see. And the other side also is looking forward for that, you should start your podcasting journey. Let me give you one example where this podcasting can really make sense out of. So you are a person who connects with certain celebrity. For you, one of the political figure is your celebrity, and you feel so much for that person. Or it may be a Hollywood, Bollywood actors for whom you're connected. Or it may be one of the author like a J.K. Rowling with whom you have a deep connection because her book are very near and dear to you. Anything that comes out of from her creativity, it's something that you're the first customer to buy. And those are the people coming on certain podcast, video, audio, anywhere, and you find those footprints or the search engine or anywhere, whichever media that you tune in, you bounce to those videos, you bounce to those audios, you hear them out like a greedy person. Why? Because you want to see what are some natural flares of that person, what are some natural angles to this person. Are those the ones that are similar to me? Looking forward for that connection to go even deeper. And that's where you're actually connecting with them. That's where you feel proud with the connection. And it's the same experience I have. So far, I have interviewed umpteen number of guests on my podcast journey from various industries, starting from businesses to startups to techie startups to some artists to some celebrities. And what I've observed is all the time audience connect with them and they find some different angles from them. Also, the guests that come on my podcast, they tell me, you know what, when I came to your podcast, such and such conversations went so organic that I didn't know that I was going to talk about particular point or particular subject or particular experience in my life. And I was so touched. I never could open up in public, but with the discussions that we have had over the coffee or on your recording, it went so amazing that at the end of the day, I think I revealed some flavors and also I discovered myself in a very different angle and the audience engage with us through different media channels and say, oh my God, we didn't know this person is, having so much of fun behind. And they're interested in cooking, they're interested in dancing, they are interested in reading and writing like me. And now I'm connected more deeply with this person. I am now checking out these products more and more because so and so person is liking it. So such a organic traffic that you can bring to the podcasting. Another essential part that I would say with the podcasting is the networking aspect. You get the organic networking and collaboration opportunities. I could never imagine in my own career I would have had such a deep networking opportunities with a diverse field of life and diverse field of celebrities. And now I can actually talk to them, take their advices. That's such an important part when I need certain mentorships. And I go back and ask them these questions like I'm asking as a family or a friend or my mentors, whoever are close to you. That way, this kind of deep connections can also happen with you. So, podcasting gives you immense opportunities in networking, collaboration, partnerships, even to attract your own future investors in terms of a customers, in terms of the VCs, if you're looking forward to, because you are exhibiting much more than what you are, just showing through the content that is coming out, to the product that you are operating, or the execution cycle in your business that is showing up, or the marketing or the advertising of your products that is happening. You're much more beyond that. You're much more deep in that. So that's where, if you want to humanize your personal brand, if you want to humanize your business, if you want to get the humanized, deep and connected networking and partnership and investment opportunities being an entrepreneur and spread out your thought leadership, spread out your mission, spread out your passion and gather your own organic community to whom either you can sell, you can connect, you can collaborate. I think podcasting is one of the easiest, simple tool that you can leverage. And now we understood about podcasting, why this is important, what it can gain, what it can excel. But how do I start? I have never been on the mic like you, Pranali. How can I start? That's where this workshop is going to come handy. Will help you to start your podcast bootstrap banters in this podcasting one-on-one. So stay tuned. Go to passionatepulse.com/workshop and pre-register for the Podcasting 101 workshop. Don't delay your journey. Accelerates your podcasting journey. I'm telling you the truth. After my decades of podcasting journey through radio and different podcasting mediums, now I can guarantee you that your day one will be my day 100. And you will be equipped with the right skills, right techniques to start your things. Of course, there will be a strategy session. If you are at a place where you don't know what your podcasting strategy should be, I'm there to guide you. If you trust my podcasting journey, if you trust that this workshop is going to change your life, I think you should take this chance. We should always take the chances and opportunities that land in front of us to accelerate our journeys. And who knows what it opens up for you? You will find people like you sitting and networking because they are the ones who are looking to start your journey. And you will be in the right ecosystem that you're looking forward to. Sometimes this ecosystem is lacking. Staying in the right ecosystem can boost your journey far ahead that you can even think about it. When I decided to start my passion journey, it was very hard because I was not knowing somebody like me who has done before. And I had to do literally a lot of hard efforts to find the right people like me, to network with them, to find the avenues where I can go and see them and meet them and share the pain points that I go through every day and find out what they have done to maneuver their own challenges, find that helping hand. Because not all problems can be solved by every individual. Everybody is not expert in, all the fields that you can look forward to. Similarly, your passion, your individualistic passion that you have, you may not have a family surrounding and giving you the right insights because one, they are not expert at it. Second, they don't have knowledge about it. And the third thing, they have really not experienced those problems. But people like you are in the same boat. They might help you guide through. They might accelerate your journey. They might motivate you in the right direction to keep up your energy quotient. And that's where this ecosystems comes to play. If you're starting your journeys from the scratch today, you might want to pair up with the right size of peers. And this podcasting 101 workshop can bring you that. Don't you want to be stay in that ecosystem and flourish? Go to passionatepulse.com/workshop and pre-register. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to the Passionate Pulse podcast. And this Bootstrap Banter series has a lot of treasure for you if you're looking forward to enrich your side hustle, start your passion with your mission, and tap to your magical hidden powers. Stay healthy, stay happy wherever you are, and stay connected with your passion. See you and bye bye. Are you ready to amplify your voice and grow your business or a personal brand? Imagine reaching thousands of listeners sharing your passion and making an impact all through your very own podcast. Join our upcoming workshop, Podcasting 101, designed just for you. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or just passionate about sharing your own story, we will equip you with all the tools that you need to start your podcasting journey. Don't miss out. Visit passionatepulse.com/workshops and do secure your spot today. That's passionatepulse.com/workshops. Let's make your voice heard. Hello, Passionate Pulse listeners. Pranali here. Are you a business owner looking to amplify your brand's reach? Or maybe you know an expert who deserves the mic. This is your moment. Advertise with us or recommend a fascinating guest for our podcast. Dial at 341-209-0102 and let's make your story roar. Passionate Pulse Podcast, where your tales ignite. Call us now at 341-209-0102. Let's champion the spirit of positive change together.